Hello, this is Carolyn Bubert with the League of Women Voters of Portland. You're watching the video voters guide, or you might be listening to it on podcast. We're here today to talk with candidates running for the May 17th primary election. All the candidates running for this position have been invited by us to participate. We asked the candidates for the same office the same questions. The number of questions that the candidate gets to is going to be determined by the length of the candidate's answers. In this process, we're grateful for the support of the Carol and Velma Sailing Foundation, the League of Women Voters Education Fund, the Weiss Foundation, and our media partner, Metro East Community Media. With me is Brent Barker, who's running for Labor Commissioner. Welcome, Mr. Barker.
Thank you for the introduction, and thank you to the Oregon League of Women's Voters.
Yeah. Tell us about yourself and why you're running for this office.
Well, I'm an educated person. I've been in school and I worked really hard to get through school. I paid for my own education. I've been a busboy. I've been a gas station attendant. I've worked in construction trades, scaffolding, all these types of things. And the reason I say that is because the Labor Commissioner works with people on all skill levels. And I think it's important that someone that's speaking to labor has actually done a lot of hard work and labor. So, and as it relates to business, I have a significant background in business, relates to finance, real estate, entrepreneurship, business planning, these types of things. As well as my public background, which is a lot of trade, things like this, finance, these things where you're trying to bring two parties together, make ends meet. My education continues even to this day. I've relied on it heavily. I believe education is everything, and that's the reason I'm here, and I want to help Oregon train a marketable workforce with skills that labor needs. And as you mentioned, the League of Women Voters has an education fund. Well, the state of Oregon, and I'm sure we'll get into that question as well, has the same thing right now under Bill 1545, Senate Bill 1545, $200 million, along with the BOLI budget. These are all aspects where we're going to be able to train a workforce with marketable skills.
Thank you. How will you balance the needs of business with those of workers in administering the Bureau of Labor and Industries?
Well, I would just say this. I think we need balance. I think it's imperative that we have balance between business and labor. So someone might say that business may take advantage of a certain situation, and they're just trying to make a profit. That business must survive, and we must give them every tool in the world for that business to survive. On the same token, we must make sure that we look through the eyes and be empathetic to the labor that is maybe not being fairly treated. Possibly it was a situation where the business went out of business and they have unpaid wages, and they have someone that cannot make their rent payment. Rents are going up. The citizenry is under huge pressure right now, and we have to ensure that we have new companies that are working to come to Oregon. We're giving them every incentive to, and we have labor in this state that has been trained with the skills needed for these companies. These are all things that are very important, and this is what I'm primarily focused on, is education with this job and how to bring the various parties together. And I think that's the most important aspect of this job, because you should stay within your lane. This job is not the governor. This job is not the judicial system. This job is not the legislature. This job is an oversee labor, industries, and education pertaining to skilled workers, and make sure we live and play in a balanced playing field. I'm a very motivated person. I love to work, And I want to see people bring things together and be empathetic to those people that have less.
Thank you. You're watching the Video Voters Guide from the League of Women Voters of Portland, and I'm here with Brent Barker, who is running for Labor Commissioner. Mr. Barker, what more could be done by the Bureau of Labor and Industries to eliminate discrimination in access to housing, public spaces, and job opportunities in Oregon?
Well, once again, I'm going to refer back to the Senate Bill 1545 that was recently passed and to be signed by our governor. And I believe that bill, in essence, will be very impactful on how we can, because it deals primarily with certain groups, people of color, certain other groups, possibly the tribes here within the state of Oregon, the indigenous tribes. We look to bring these programs, because there are many of them. The BOLI, or the Bureau of Labor and Industries, does not receive all of those monies. Those monies are spread around to various aspects, but I hope that BOLI can have a voice in how these dollars coordinate in order to train a skilled labor force and also protect those populations that are prioritized within this bill, that can help themselves in a way in which they can have better jobs. Because a job is a beautiful thing. I love to see people who have it with a great job, where they're respected in their employment and they have advancement in their employment. It makes them feel great. They come home to their families and they feel productive. That is such a beautiful goal. And I think should be the goal for this office.
Thank you, Mr. Barker. This concludes our Video Voters Guide and podcast interview with Brent Barker, who's running for Labor Commissioner. Election Day is May 17th, Tuesday, May 17th. Thank you for taking this opportunity to inform yourself, and I hope you'll be telling your friends and family about this resource. For more information on the primary election and the races, visit our websites, which is vote411.org or the League of Women Voters of LWVPDX.org. Thank you.